Wanted to talk to you, get your take on the latest with Joe Rogan. He's, all over the headlines. Tell us what's happening. And you too, of course, Kate, would love your perspective on this, but tell us what's happening.
Well, new old media says they're tired of new media. They're taking aim at Joe Rogan, the host of the most popular podcast in the world. He signed a huge deal with Spotify, I think last year, in order to I don't even know because you can still listen to the show everywhere else. I don't even know what the deal was. They were just
Yeah.
like, here's $100 million for
Yeah.
something. But they paid him a lot of money to come over and be officially a Spotify podcast. And people have started to notice that Joe Rogan is a bit of a dipshit, a bit of a dumbass, and and there was a push to hold Joe Rogan accountable for the COVID mess we're in because he had some guests on that were spreading some misinformation. That was the key word early in the
Right.
week, that Joe Rogan was in trouble because he was spreading misinformation about COVID, and people were very upset with him about this, and were trying to get him removed from Spotify. And Spotify was like, "Why would we do that? We don't like. Why would we ever do that? Just because, say, Neil Young and Joni Mitchell are pulling their music from Spotify." Spotify doesn't pay them any money, like,
Yeah,
and they don't make
it's
any money.
horrible. It's like
Yeah,
almost no
Spotify
money at
doesn't
all.
care about any musical artists. All of them can leave the platform for
Right.
all they care. They made deals with the record labels and the record companies to continue screwing the artists out of their royalties. And so some people are, because people were upset about the COVID thing, they're trying to hold Joe Rogan accountable, which I frankly found kind of silly and overblown. I just don't feel like most people who are getting their medical advice from Joe Rogan, and if they are, that's a failure of of places like the New York Times, which wrote like 20 articles, I swear to God, about Joe Rogan this week. Like, people are like, COVID is going badly because you're not doing your job.
Mm.
You're more responsible for this than Joe Rogan. And certainly someone like, I don't know, Joe Biden, I think, is
The
ultimately
wrong
a bit
Joe.
more
Yeah, Ron Joe.
responsible for COVID than Joe Rogan. And then it's shifted to Joe Rogan being racist. There was a compilation of Joe Rogan saying the N word that came out, and that's turned into like a secondary cancellation of him. And but the thing is, it's kind of backfiring because some of the people who got mad at him, including our friends over at the Young Turks, there's also an N word compilation of a lot of their work as well. So it's just a lot of weird, meaningless internet culture that's just kind of meant to distract us from the actual issue of like COVID and the actual issues we have of racism, which is not, clips of podcasts from comedians from 10, 15 years ago, like pre like Twitter, YouTube era.